Hey friends, happy Saturday. It's good to see you. I wanted to do this video outdoors, but I went out there to try to do it, and the sun was so bright that it was making me squint, and I couldn't see the computer screen very well. If you've ever tried to look at screens out in the bright light, it's like, just doesn't work very well. And I don't know about you, but that has been my favorite thing about this week, is that it has just been so sunny on so many of the days. And even though today is not very warm, it's just wonderful to be outside because it's so sunny. It just feels like healing to my spirit and my body to have the sunshine. And it's a reminder that spring is coming, which is such good news. And the reason I wanted to read the story to you outdoors in the bright sunlight is because I'm going to read you this book today called When God Made Light. But we can still enjoy the book even though we have to be indoors. And I can show you a little picture of Rosie here. She is hanging out with me. You see her there on the couch. She's having a good time, just living a life of luxury, getting up on the furniture. So, she's going to listen to our story too. Before I read the book, though, I want to read to you from the Bible, from God's Word. I want to read you the part about when God did make light. And so in the very beginning of the Bible, you can kind of see if I open it, see how it's like at the very beginning. The first book of the Bible is called Genesis. I know some of you know that. And the Bible is separated up into lots of different, what we call books, lots of different sections. And so this is the very first one. And we're going to read the very first part of that, starting at the very beginning. It says, "In the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth was a formless void, and darkness covered the face of the deep, while a wind from God swept over the face of the waters. Then God said, 'Let there be light,' and there was light. And God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day." And I like how, in the language that this was written in, the Hebrew language, that word where it says the earth was a formless void, like it wasn't formed yet, it was kind of, there was nothing. The Hebrew words for that are that the world was tohu bavohu, and it's tohu bavohu, and that just means like sort of unformed stuff, and I think that's really fun to say. So we are going to go ahead and read this book by Matthew Paul Turner, illustrated by David Catrow. Okay, there's a good picture of the cover, and I'm going to just turn this so that it's easier for me to hold this up and read it to you. In fact, I wonder, let's see here. All right. Let there be light. Looks like the sun is shining through the windows and making shapes on the floor. That's what God said, and light began shining and then started to spread. It flickered and dashed, it blinked and it flashed, light poured and light spilled, it bolted and splashed. Light glared and glimmered, it flared and it sparked, and wherever light shined, dark stopped being dark. In the beginning, space became bright, 'cause God filled it with twinkles of yellowy white. Brilliant stars gleamed, swirls of light streamed. In that once empty space, a galaxy beamed. When God made light, a universe lit up, a dazzling display of big shiny stuff, and all that light, every bright golden hue, is the very same light that God put inside you. Now, God made the sun to light up our days, to cover our planet with life-filled rays, to make summers warm and winters not too cold, to help flowers bloom and turn wheat fields to gold, to burst in the morning at the first crack of dawn, to rise up slowly and beam across lawns. And when the sun shines, here's what you should do. Go run and have fun. Play a game, maybe two. Go skipping or flipping or down a slide slipping. Or if it's too hot, in a pool, just go dripping. Dance in the grass, go climbing in trees, build castles with sand, face the wind, feel its breeze. Eat berries and cherries. In a patch, pick strawberries, or whistle out loud with a choir of canaries. And once in a while, when the playing is done, look up in the sky and thank God for the sun. And when the light fades and a day ends too soon, wave goodbye to the sun and hello to the moon. Yes, God made the moon to brighten the sky's night, to reflect the sun's shine, to be our world's nightlight. But beneath a dark sky, there are things you can do. Just bring Mommy or Daddy and a flashlight or two. Raise a tent and go camping, or through the woods stamping, romping and stomping on paths made for tramping. Catch fireflies in jars, go gazing at stars. Try counting and seeing how many there are. See constellations, shapes and formations. Find a lion or bear amid heaven's creations. Sing songs round campfires, make marshmallow s'mores. Let Grandpa tell stories, wage flashlight wars. Now, when God made light, God made all different kinds. Some sparkles, some flares, but all light shines. It flashes and bolts when lightning is crashing, or bursts to the sky when a comet is dashing. And if you ever feel scared in the darkness of night, remember the shadows are no match for God's light. Climb into bed, sleep soundly, and dream. And know that inside you, God's glow is a gleam. Because you're just like the sun and the moon in the sky, as lustrous as twinkles that dazzle the eye. You're as splendid as lightning when it flashes so bright. Because on the day you were born, God said, let there be light. So beam like the sun, glimmer like a star, and wherever you go, dark will stop being dark. Shimmer and shine, be a beacon so bright, 'cause when God made you, child, God made light. All right, and that is the end of the book, and there's a sleepy owl at the end. And I just wanted to add one little note at the end of that book that I think sometimes when we talk about things like dark will stop being dark, we kind of make it sound like lightness is better than darkness. And we need to remember that God made the light and the dark. God made the sun and the moon. And there is, we need darkness just like we need light. And sometimes through history, the way that Christians have talked about light and darkness has sometimes made it seem like light everything is better than dark everything, including skin, that light skin is better than dark skin. And we know that's a lie, but it's good to sometimes say that, to say, stories like this aren't saying that darkness is bad and aren't saying that things that are darker colors are bad. It's just a celebration of the fact that God made light and God made goodness, and we know that when God's light shines in our hearts, it's kind of like a way of saying that God shines his light in us so that the goodness that he's put in us can be seen. And so it's just sometimes a little tricky when we talk about that we think about how what we don't mean, but also what we can celebrate. All right, thank you for joining me for that story, friends.